Hey guys, welcome back to another very interesting video of our channel Versatile Knowledge, and in this video I'm going to be talking with you guys about all the features and modes that is present in the camera application of the LG Wing smartphone. So LG Wing is one of the most unique devices that we have in the market today, and the uniqueness of this device is not just with the form factor but is also with respect to the amount of features that is present inside the camera application that has been baked inside this smartphone in the normal mode like this, and also when we do the swivel like this, amount of camera features will also increase along with this form factor. Before we go to the camera features and modes, I'll quickly go to the camera hardware guys. It has a high resolution 64 megapixel lens, an ultra wide angle lens, and also another ultra wide angle lens which is made for that gimbal mode which produces extra bit of stabilization. And on the back surface it actually mentions hexa motion stabilizer. Hexa motion stabilizer means it will actually stabilize your videos in 6 different directional axes. OIS is present on these cameras, and it also has a 32 megapixel selfie camera which is present on that pop-up mechanism that is present over here, because of which we are able to get a complete full screen experience. So let's quickly go into the camera application guys. By the way, I'm not using any Gcam or something. I'm still trying out the best quality Gcams. I'll be bringing a separate video on Gcams as well. Here is our camera application guys. The first and foremost thing that I really like is with respect to the presence of the 2x mode that is present over here, which is normal 1x and the digital 2x, and also we have the ultra wide angle camera that is 0.5x. We have the Google lens which is indicated over here. So when you use the Google lens, as you can see, you just point at an object like this, and when you point at an object like this and tap the shutter button to search, it will do a Google search of the image that is present in front of you. As you can see, it will quickly tell you that this is a Logitech M221 silent wireless mouse, and you can buy from your favorite online stores directly. And on the top surface of this camera application, on the normal photo mode over here, we have the settings button over here. In the settings button we have a lot of things which we'll come back to later, and we have the aspect ratio guys. Here in the aspect ratio you can actually quickly switch between the 16:9 aspect ratio, 4:3 full aspect ratio which is 20:9, and we have the 1:1 which is square aspect ratio, and also we have the full high res mode that is 64 megapixel aspect ratio. As you can see, in the 4:3 64 megapixel mode, it will actually help you to take some amazing high resolution photos. What I have observed is I've used a lot of high resolution cameras guys. In terms of the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max, it might be the 108 megapixel camera. The Mi 10i, it also has the 108 megapixel camera, and also I've used a lot of 48 megapixel cameras in the past, 64 megapixel cameras in the past. One thing that I've observed is the implementation of 64 megapixel mode on this device is outstanding. The amount of details that you get from this 64 megapixel mode of LG Wing is actually greater than what we have seen on different cameras. That is what I've observed. So with respect to the 64 megapixel mode on this device, it is outstanding. But generally what you will have to keep is you can't always shoot in 64 megapixel mode because of the time constraint, because if you are taking quick shots, you don't need to take in 64 megapixel mode. 16 megapixel mode is more than enough. So that's why I always recommend to keep your photos in 16:9 aspect ratio and shoot in 16:9 aspect ratio always. And we have some filters over here guys, which is like original filter, warm, bright, merry, nostalgia. We have mellow filter, we have the vivid filter. I don't use any kind of filters. And also when you just click on the download option over here, you can download more number of filters from the LG Smart World Store. As you can see, we have entered the LG Smart World Store. Here you have a lot more filters that you can freely download for your camera application. And again, we have the usual things, that is the flash. You can set it to auto flash, you can set it to flash off, which is the basic. And also we have the timer. Timer is for 3 seconds, 5 seconds and 10 seconds, which is basic to almost all devices out there. We have the option to switch between the front camera and the rear camera guys. As you can see, when I am switching to the front camera, I have switched my device to the front camera over here, and the amount of options in the front camera is quite similar. We have the aspect ratio which is 4:3 16:9. We have the filters, we have the flash for the front flash, which is basically the screen flash guys, and also we have the timer option that is present. And also in the front mode there is another option that is present, which is the beauty mode, which is like kind of smoothing your skin. You can set it between the levels of 0 to 8. I always turn off the beauty mode because this LG Wing has exceptional color signs on the selfie camera. So this is with respect to the front camera and the rear camera. So now let's come to the next important mode that is present, which is the portrait mode. So portrait mode helps you to take the background blur guys. When you slide from here like this, in the portrait mode you can get options of the amount of blur that you want to keep. You can set the timer in portrait mode, and also you can set the aspect ratio in portrait mode, and also there is the portrait mode settings. As you can see in the photo settings, you can set the portrait mode up to 16 megapixel only. You can't take 64 megapixel portrait mode photos. As you can see, this is with respect to portrait mode. And now let's slowly slide slide to the left option, which is the video mode. Here in the video mode, these are very important options that is present. We have the video resolution up to 4K at 60 FPS, which is fantastic. The OIS actually kicks in at 4K 30 FPS, guys, and in 4K 60 FPS also the video quality is fantastic. And we have something called a steady camera on. Steady camera is basically the stabilization, which is like the ultra steady mode that is present in all the other devices, right? So that is the steady camera, and steady camera only works at full HD. You can switch to full HD and only HD. Steady camera doesn't work at 4K, so you can switch off the steady camera. And also you can take the recordings in the filters, but you can't keep the filters at 4K 60 FPS. And also you can take the recordings with the flashlight on if you're taking some videos in the low lighting conditions or in the night lighting conditions. And also when you're in the video mode, you can switch between the lenses while you are taking video, which is 1x and 2x. If you want to take an ultra wide angle camera videos, you will have to use the gimbal mode, which I will be explaining later. So you have something called as basic audio for the video, you have the ASMR based recording, and also you have the voice bokeh. So now let's quickly go to the time lapse mode, guys. Time lapse mode, you can switch to auto, which is the automatic time lapse. At 4K you can take 1x, 5x, 10x, 15x, 30x, and also 60x time lapse. And time lapse mode only supports 4K 30 FPS. There is no 4K 60 at time lapse. And also we have the night time lapse, with the help of which you can take some amazing night time shots as well. And also we have the flashlight for time lapse. If you're taking in the low lighting conditions or something, you can use the flashlight for time lapse. So now let's come to the stickers right over here. So stickers is a very cool feature which uses the augmented reality technology to actually find a face and put the 3D effects. So basically we have used the Snapchat filters and other filters on our smartphones, right? Like the Instagram filters or something. When you're doing a Google Duo video call, there are some filters like this. You can do a video recording as well while you are using the filters like this. So now let's go to these modes, guys. So in these modes there are a very important features, which is the night mode. We have the panorama mode, we have the manual camera, we have the manual video mode, which is fantastic. We have the slow motion mode, we have the YouTube live, where you can actually live stream to your YouTube channel directly from your smartphone. We have the Cine Shot 360-degree panorama, and also we have the AR stickers. And also there is a button to download more nodes to your camera over here. It will actually take you to the LG Smart World application, where you can actually download more camera modes like Cine Shot and 360-degree panorama. These are the two modes which I've actually downloaded from the LG Smart World application, guys. So let's go to the night mode over here. Here in the night view, you can actually brighten the nighttime condition photo. You can change the aspect ratio for nighttime condition also. You can also set the timer in the night mode photos, and also have taken a lot of photos in the night mode as well, which come out to be very nice on this device. And also we have the panorama mode. This is the panorama mode, guys, and you guys already know about how panorama works. We have the manual camera, which is a very important feature on almost every smartphone. As you can see in the manual camera mode, you can actually adjust the white balance over here. You can adjust the focus to autofocus or manual focus. You can adjust the exposure over here, and also you can adjust the ISO, and you can also adjust the aperture. Next, let's go to the manual video mode. This works exactly like how our DSLR cameras work, and it actually takes at 4K 30 FPS. I've taken a complete YouTube video on our manual video mode. I'll be linking that video to the card section. With you can just check it out how good is the manual video mode. As you can see here, you can set the aperture, you can set the ISO levels, you can set the manual focus or autofocus, guys, and also you can set the white balance of the videos. If you want a cooler video, you can set to 2300 Kelvin. If you want a warmer video, you can set to 7500 Kelvin as well. So these are the different modes that is present in manual video. Let's go to the slow motion mode. Here in the slow motion mode, as you can see, the entire video it says will be in slow motion, and you can switch between part slow motion, all slow motion, part slow motion, all slow motion, that is present over here. Flashlight can be turned on while taking the slow motion photographs over here. I've actually covered all the details in terms of the normal mode like this, that is in the portrait orientation. Let's switch to the gimbal mode over here. When you switch to the gimbal mode while turning on the camera application, let's go to the important things, that is the slow motion mode, guys, and this is the time lapse mode. The time lapse also works in 4K, guys, and also we have the gimbal mode over here, which is one of the most unique factors of this device. I've taken a complete video in gimbal mode. The gimbal mode works exactly like how our gimbals work. If you have used a physical gimbal for your smartphones, it actually helps in stabilizing the videos. Along with that, it will actually help you to move your videos from left to right. But inside this smartphone, we have a third camera, which is like an ultra wide angle camera with a larger field of view, because of which the software can help this smartphone to take some amazing ultra wide angle videos. It will take a lot of information in the scene, and it will help you to take some amazing highly stabilized videos in full HD resolution. Gimbal mode does not work in 4K. The highest resolution is actually full HD at 30 FPS, that is 1080p is maximum resolution. So this is the first person view, guys. This is FPV, and this is the pan follow mode, guys, and also we have the follow mode that is present, and you can take a photo in this mode as well, guys. If you want to take a photo over here in this mode, you can certainly take that as well. And also we have the dual video recording. As you can see, basically dual video recording is like recording from both the rear camera and the front camera at the similar instant of time. time. You can actually switch it like this even during the process of recording, and it will switch the view from the right to left. If you're showing some architectural elements, or if you're into vlogging or something, and if you want to show the architectural element at the same time you want to explain something about that architecture, then it is certainly helpful. In dual video recording, it only records at the full HD resolution. These are the different modes that is present on this particular camera, guys. And in this mode you can also switch to the flashlight when you're recording the dual video recording. So now let's go back to the normal camera application, and actually I'll show you guys some of the settings that is present on this device. So when I quickly go to the video recording over here, you can actually take the videos on your front camera up to 4K, and the quality of 4K videos that come from this front camera is actually pretty good. It is not 4K 60 fps, guys. It only is capped to 4K 30 fps in terms of the front camera at 4K. You can switch to 1080p 60 fps, and also other modes are present over here in 4K. You can actually use the HEVC format to save the videos, steady recording in order to make sure that you have the more stabilized videos, and also you have save as flipped grid in the 4K. You can add tag location, add watermark, shot on wing, LG wing. That watermark can be added if you want to remove the watermark, that is also present. And when you go to the photo mode over here, and when you go to the settings, right, these are the important settings. So as you can see, auto scene optimizer actually is like an AI mode. Tips is when someone's eyes is closed when you're taking a selfie, or when the photo is blurry, when your camera is smudged or something, then it will actually give you tips, which is something that you will have to actually turn on. Composition, take a picture by using a composition suggested depending on the person, that is a setting that is present. Photo size, you can switch the photo size right from the camera viewfinder, guys. You don't have to use the settings. Use the HDR to auto all the time, guys, because when you're taking some bright shots with the sunlight conditions, if you have set the HDR to auto, it will automatically analyze, does it need to turn on HDR, does it not need to turn on HDR, and based on that it can shoot some amazing high quality photos by taking the different exposures. So it will take a very high exposure, low exposure, and the normal exposure, and stitch all the three exposures together to produce some amazing image, which is like basically very important. Use the ultra wide angle shot correction distortion that is present, which you can certainly use, and you can use the high efficiency image format, guys. And also you have the live photo tracking focus, track and maintain a focus on a moving object. That is something that you can certainly use. Take a photo by using cheese, smile, whiskey, or kimchi, or LG. So if you're taking a photo and you can say cheese, and the smartphone actually takes a photo for you, that is something that I turn off all the time. The grid I actually want. Scan QR code on the camera preview screen, and watermark obviously you already know. Now let's go to the portrait mode, and you can go to the settings of portrait mode. As you can see, in portrait mode you can take up to 16 megapixel, as I said earlier, and also in the portrait mode you can take videos, guys. In the portrait mode videos, that is capped at 1080p, that is full HD. So in order to take the video on portrait mode, you can actually long press on the shutter button like this, and the portrait mode photos will start capturing, and it will be having a background blur, guys. So these are some of the most important features and camera modes that is present on the LG Wing. I'm also attaching a few camera samples for your reference, with the help of which you can actually analyze and judge for yourself how good is the camera on this device.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step, still hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear I weighed the person you are. I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll
This is one of the most feature-packed smartphones in terms of the camera quality in this particular price range. If you are using a smartphone at around 30,000 rupees, you just go ahead and compare the camera of LG Wing with any other smartphone in this price range, guys. It may be iQOO 7, it may be the Realme X7 Max, any other smartphone in this price range for that matter. The camera of LG Wing is certainly better than any other smartphone because this is a premium smartphone. This is not like a smartphone made for 30,000 rupees. This was built for experience of an 80,000 rupee smartphone, and it certainly delivers it. So that's it for this video, guys. If you guys have liked this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more interesting and amazing content like this one. Thank you for watching, guys.